Hello, hello! My name is Kallista, and welcome back to Witch Hunt. In the last episode, Artin and her new companion, Ariane, came to the Circle of Magi. We are looking for information on an elven artifact known as Eluvian. Morrigan seems very interested in them for some reason, and I believe the book that we are looking for is on this shelf. Let's take a look. Mysterious artifacts. Which book would you like to examine? Well, I mean, I've got to look at the other books first, obviously. Talismans of Ancient Tevinter. This book details the construction and usage of folk talismans from ancient Tevinter. Chastened Charms. This book is a mainly dry treatise on chastened superstitions. Scale and Bone, Crafting the High Dragon. This book contains complex recipes for crafting items from parts of a dragon's carcass. And a catalogue of elven relics. This book is written in an ancient dialect you cannot read.
I recognize the character on this page. I think it makes up part of the word Eluvian.
That's hardly helpful. Is this elvish? Is this like the book you lost? I would assume it's elvish, given that Ariane can partially translate it. And number one is just kind of counterintuitive. Oh, that's hardly helpful. Well, whining won't help. I think number three makes the most sense. Also, Ariane did say the book that she's looking for originally came from the Circle Tower, so maybe this book and that book were part of a set. Is this like the book you lost?
Similar. The bindings are in the same style, but the script is different. This is a library, isn't it? Perhaps another book could help us translate this.
Indeed. Back to the index section. Now, I believe the book we want is Index T to Z, Translating Elven Languages, I think. However, I want to look at the other indexes first. I want to see what references are going to be provided to us. This is an index of books sorted alphabetically from G to L. Guarding Your Mind, How to Prevent Possession. This book is in the Fade section. Geographical Oddities of Ferelden. This book is in the Geography section. Kindling the Flame. This book is in the Mage Training section. Lurking Horrors of the Deep. This book is in the Dangerous Beast section. Let's go take a look at them. Anything in here? No. Okie doke. Well, there's Geography. Geography. Which book would you like to examine? Secrets of the Frostbacks. A book containing pictures of the Frostback Mountains. Devoured from Beneath. Written from a fatalistic viewpoint, this book theorizes that the crumbling deep roads below Ferelden will eventually cause the land to fall apart. Circle Tower of Kirkwall. This book describes the Circle Tower of Kirkwall. Housed in a former Tevinter slaver fortress, its halls are a foreboding place even centuries after the city's liberation. And Geographical Oddities of Ferelden. A study of the stranger landscapes of Ferelden and their causes. I hope that Lake Callanhad is in that book, because if you hadn't noticed, if you squint at Lake Callanhad on the map, it's shaped like a bunny. Go and check! Trust me on this, go and check! Squint at Lake Callanhad, it is shaped like a bunny rabbit. Okay, we are done here. Okay, let's see, what else do we have?
The body of the Templar who went after those apostates near Highever.
Micah, it's terrible what they did to him.
They say he was force-fed so much lyrium he was bleeding from the eyes. His brain was liquefied in his skull.
Jesus!
Can lyrium really do that?
It can't kill you, but... well, you know how rumors are. Those pisses give us all a bad name. Now some Templar would take it out on an innocent mage and start the cycle all over again.
What a fucked up way to torture someone! Flipping heck! Just force feeding them lyrium until their brain melts. My god! Flipping heck! There are no words for that. The horror that is that. The Fade. Which book would you like to examine? Faith, Justice, and the Spiritual Way. A book on the benevolent spirits of the Fade. The Black City. This book is a collection of essays written on the Black City. Guarding Your Mind, How to Prevent Possession. This book contains exercises for strengthening mental barriers. Martha's Adventures in the Fade. This seems to be a book for young mage children. It contains colourful pictures depicting demons as cute, smiling monsters. Oh no. Oh no, that is terrible. No wonder so many mages here became possessed when Uldred started summoning demons, if that's the kind of literature they're showing the kids. Mage Training. Which book would you like to examine? Kindling the Flame. This outlines instructions on how to control fire spells. Autonomous Prodigy, Volume 3, Hexes. An in-depth guide on the creation of hexes, curses, and other charms. A scribbled note on the inside cover references a book on technique in the self-improvement section. Strained Wrists and Stiff Necks. This is a detailed explanation of common mage injuries. Okay, that makes sense. And Lightning Storms in Your Room. The subtitle reads, A Fun Activity Book for Young Apprentices. I think it's very good that the kids have books in the library for them to read. I mean, of course I would think that. I did used to volunteer in a library. I think that all little kids should have the opportunity to read as many books as they would like to. However, I do question the literature that the Circle is giving those kids. It does not seem safe.
Very well.
Self-improvement. Which book would you like to examine? The Willpower Workout. A self-directed program for overcoming low levels of spiritual energy. You notice a chapter near the back which calls upon some kind of a mental workout device. As your eyes glance over the last paragraph, you hear a distant gust of wind. Staff Repair. Not just a task for the tranquil. This is an overview of restoring staves overwhelmed by their owners. Tome of Technique. Use it or lose it. This is a training manual for Templars and other melee warriors. A note on the inside cover reads, For those forever in pursuit of perfection, Aldrich or Legion Order of the Templars. We shall take the book. And Healing Your Robes. A handy guide to fixing tears in magical vestments. And we're good here. And we did indeed pick up a Tome of Technique, I think they're called. Tome of Physical Technique. If you are playing as a Mage Warden, then you will instead pick up a Tome of Magical Technique or a Tome of Spiritual Technique. Whatever the mage-oriented tomes are, that'll be there instead. And the last one was Dangerous Beasts.
You hear what's going on up in Kirkwall?
Kirkwall?
In the Free Marches, dolt. Half of Ferelden fled there in the Blight. They say there's a refugee camp twice as big as the city. Whole place is run by Templars, though, so no one is getting in. They heard what happened here, made them kind of jumpy.
Everyone's a critic.
We have mages gossiping about Kirkwall. We have books talking about Kirkwall. It's almost like the game is hinting that the series will be heading to Kirkwall soon.
As you say.
Dangerous Beasts. Which book would you like to examine? Lurking Horrors of the Deep. This book contains entries on the giant squid and the bony whale shark of the Anderfels, now extinct. Lothering Heights, that's a parody of Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, I believe. It could have been Charlotte Bronte. All of the Bronte sisters were writers, which makes it rather confusing to remember which of them wrote which of their books. This book appears to be on the wrong shelf. The Dragons of Navarra. A book detailing the different groups of dragons once found in Navarra. And Deep Stalkers and Nugs. A book about various subterranean creatures. Good stuff. And because we looked at the self-improvement books, we have an Essence of Willpower. Can I, please, let me use my age-old cheat. Okay, we're gonna pause and repeat click.
As you say.
Oh, boo. Boo, how dare. That cheat has seen me gain so many stat boosts. Ah, sad times. Okay, yeah, we have looked at everything. What does the next index hold? N through S. Oh, there wasn't something... No, I'm seeing things. This is an index of books sorted alphabetically from M to S. Raising Nugs, a how-to guide. This book is in the zoology section. Restorative dwarfs, creation and distillation. This book is in the expert herbalism section. Seeing beyond sight, advanced scrying for mages. This book is in the rituals section. The sword and the staff. This book is in the mage weaponry section. Okie doke, let's have a look at those. Again, none of them are in here. Excuse me, Sir Mage. Oh, yeah, that's self-improvement. Mage weaponry. Whereabouts you at? There you at.
Very well.
Mage weaponry. Which book would you like to examine? Staff construction for apprentices. A simple how-to guide to constructing and decorating your first staff. Leaning against the book is a curious-looking tablet. The sword and the staff. For the more athletic mage, a manual on how to wield staff and sword simultaneously. Tevinter Wands of the Glory Age. A book about the wands occasionally used by the Tevinter Imperium several hundred years ago. Scratched in the corner of the page are some words from an irritated student. What kind of self-respecting mage uses a wand anyway? Once again, Harry Potter is quaking in his boots. Use your fist. What a title. A mage can be caught without his staff, but never without his fists. I'm reading constant innuendos in that. Yeah, we'll just leave. We'll leave this section behind. What did we get there? Was it? I think maybe we got a rune? That's... Oh, we have Sir Pounce-a-Lot. Anders actually goes into why Artin has a Sir Pounce-a-Lot in Dragon Age 2. So I'm going to let him explain that for himself. We must have gotten a rune from that. That's the only thing I can think of. Rituals is over here. There's expert herbalism. There's zoology.
It will be done.
Zoology. Which book would you like to examine? Raising Nugs, a how-to guide. I would like to think Liliana's got a copy of this somewhere. This book was written by Lochnar Weem, a dwarven nug farmer who tried to raise nugs on the surface. The Care of Dragons. A book that explains how to breed dragons as pets. It has been banned in most circles for blatant misinformation. Once again, more explanations for why there were dragons up on the 3rd floor. Mabari, a history. A detailed history of the Mabari Hound. You like this one, boy? Oh, as if you can read it. Number 2 just sounds harsh. Like, yeah, Artin wouldn't talk to Thorin like she would talk to a person, but there's no need to be rude to the dog. You know, there's probably a picture of a Mabari on the front cover, and Thorin has recognized another dog. Probably something like that has happened, Artin is thinking. You like this one, boy? All right, you can have it, but be quiet about it. I'm sorry it has to stay here. We can't be giving the dog random books from the Circle of Magi library. That's how you get banned from places. I'm sorry, it has to stay here. Yeah, we can't be giving our dog random expensive books. Why is a Bronto here? Now that is the question. Speculation on why Brontos always turn up in the most unexpected places. Maybe Jarek and Snug could explain that, but I don't think Artin can. Expert herbalism.
Of course.
Expert herbalism. Which book would you like to examine? Restorative dwarfs, the creation and distillation thereof. Detailed recipes for complicated potions. Looks like someone forgot a potion here. Good stuff. Inez Arancia's Botanical Compendium. We met Inez in Awakening. She was the herb lady that Wynne wanted us to go and find. An enormous encyclopedia of herbs and plants, both common and rare. Gardening through the Blight. Methods for rejuvenating blighted ground. This book has been thoroughly discredited. Aww. And The Joys of Seeds. This book illustrates how to grow several rare plants from seeds. Lovely. And rituals. Rituals. Which book would you like to examine? Seeing Beyond Sight. Advanced Scrying for Mages. A book for those studying scrying. Bathing Practices of the Orlesian Monarchy. This should probably be in the Foreign Cultures section, probably. Dreamwalking. Rituals for Understanding the Fade. A series of meditative rituals for mages who want to learn more about the Fade. The Holy Office of the Seekers. This heavy book is firmly locked with a chantry seal. Scorch marks suggest that someone tried opening this book to no avail. The elusive Seekers guard their secrets well. Okie doke, very intriguing. Okay, yep, we have checked out all of these sections. Good stuff. Now then, let's go find the translating books. I'm sure Ariane is just rolling her eyes as Artin is going from section to section. This is an index of books, sorted alphabetically from T to Z. Waking Nightmares and True Torment. This book is in the School of Entropy section. Under the Bridge. This book is in the Mythical Creatures section. Virulent Walking Bomb, the new edition. This book is in the School of Spirits section. Translating Elven Languages. This book is in the History section. There we go. Now then we have, both Mythical Creatures and the School of Entropy. School of Entropy. Which book would you like to examine? Creation versus Entropy. A paper comparing the strengths of the two schools of magic. Waking Nightmares and True Torment. A manual teaching advanced entropy spells. Understanding Entropy. A guide to the School of Entropy for apprentice mages. And Controlled Destruction. The book has been hollowed out. Inside is a note and a sinister ruby figurine. This will reveal a shrouded chest in the apprentice dorms. Inside is the final payment. I hope you choke on it. And we can either take the figurine and note, or let someone else choke on it. We're going to take the figurine. Thank you. Now, if I remember correctly, this actually has a description. Yeah, bad luck charm. This ruby figurine of a chariot is a con artist's worst nightmare. The infamous thief, Christoph Filippo, stole it from fair Lady Zoe, an Orlesian mage. She cursed it to give him unending misfortune. Even worse, he couldn't get rid of it. No one knows what happened to him, but this figurine is known to find its way into the pockets of those who eventually get what's coming to them. And letter of payment. A letter from one disgruntled party to another. It indicates that the ruby figurine will reveal a chest containing some kind of payment in the apprentice dorms. Okay. We'll have to remember to check that out.
It will be done.
Mythical creatures. Which book would you like to examine? Under the Bridge. A book about trolls and fairies. The Elven Varterol. Legends of the Varterol creatures, supposedly created by the elven gods. Leafing through the book, you notice a section on the only recorded encounter. It appears that from a company of Tevinter soldiers, only the cunning archers and magisters escaped with their lives. So only the people who fought at range managed to get away. Very interesting. Does this book have griffins in it? Stories of the now extinct griffin. I'm certain that Wynne hates that book. The truth behind the stories. An explanation of creatures from superstition and legend, and why they appear in our world. Okie doke. Very interesting. Oops, okay. Let's see, where are the other ones? Oh, it looks like these two mages are out of banter. Sad times.
As you say.
School of Spirit. Which book would you like to examine? Virulent Walking Bomb, the new edition. This short book details creative uses of the Walking Bomb spell. Spirit, the Supreme School of Magic. This book has been vandalized and is no longer readable. Scribbled on the cover are the words Entropy Rules. Spirit Healers Through the Ages. A book on the history of spirit healers. Folded near the back of the book is a very old sheet of notes scrawled by a young apprentice. In the margins are various sketches of Templars being eaten by a fierce tiger named Sir Pounce-a-Lot. Oh, Anders! Anders was here. Quieting the mind. Relaxation exercises for spirit mages. Okie doke. And, at long last, the history section. History. Which book would you like to examine? Okay. Forticum Cadab. Oh, that's the book Dagna mentioned. She asked us to tell Irving that she had already started reading Forticum Cadab. I remember that. The translated text of an ancient Tevinter treatise. Kozloon, philosopher or tyrant. An exceptionally biased history of the Kunari philosopher Kozloon, whose name, I am absolutely certain, will not appear in the series again. Of Hammers and Witches, a history. This ancient Orlesian text dates from the Chantry's early days. Time and dust has weathered most of the ink, but from what you can make out, it covers a war on the heretics of the old Imperium. Faded depictions of men in robes tremble before figures bearing an ominous symbol of a black eye in a sunburst. Once again, more stuff that I am certain will not appear in the Dragon Age franchise. No, this is just like a little sideline, a little bit of a tidbit, not gonna have any bearing whatsoever. Translating Elven languages. This should help you translate the Elven text. We will take the book. There we go. Okay, let's grab the catalogue again. Using the translation book, you locate a chapter on Eluvian.
Whoa, who let a dog in here? And what are you doing? Be careful!
Be careful with what? You're in my light. Leave my dog alone. Ooh, I'm drawn to 1 or 3. You're in my light is kind of rude, like, just to completely ignore what this guy is saying. It's very funny, but it's just not Artin. Our dog was behaving himself. He only started barking because this guy approached. And I think be careful with what? We're picking up ancient books. Like, it's... You know, these books are precious. We should be careful with them. Leave my dog alone.
All right, he could probably eat my face, but don't you see what you're doing? You're bending the book too much. It'll crack the spine and cause the pages to fall out. Just thinking about it is making me dizzy.
Look, I'm in the middle of something important. Are you familiar with this book? If I break it, I'll buy it. Are you familiar with this book?
I've used it, but I don't know it by heart. Browsing the chapter on the Eluvians. No one's actually found one, you know.
You know what Eluvian is?
It's Old Elvish for seeing glass. Mirror.
Your keeper couldn't even translate the word for mirror? What else do you know about this? How do you know that? Well, he knows that probably because he's been using the translating book in conjunction with the relic book. Yeah, I think Artin would just be completely... I don't even know the word. In shock? I guess that the elves don't even know the word for mirror. It's not like it was even a particularly challenging word. Mirror. Mirror. It's such a simple word, and you didn't even know that. I think I've mentioned this in the past. Artin is very confused by the Dalish elves. The fact that they know so little of their own language. Bearing in mind that Dwarvish, one, it hasn't changed much throughout the centuries, and two, Dwarven writing is such a prevalent part of Dwarven culture. I mean, the wall of memories, like, as soon as someone is born, their name is written down. All of their deeds are written down. Births, marriages, deaths, it's all written. And so the fact that, one, the Dalish have lost that, that's weird. Two, the fact that you can't even translate simple words. Like, what is wrong with you people? Your keeper couldn't even translate the word for mirror?
It's a 2,000-year-old dialect.
She's right. The word is from the lost language of Arlathan, forgotten over eons of slavery. I only know a few dozen words of it, and I'm the Circle's linguist. Eluvian isn't just any mirror. It's a special kind. When the Imperium sacked Arlathan, they took these mirrors and tried to unlock their power. But all they could use them for was communication over long distances.
Yeah, it's a 2,000-year-old dialect. And how long have the dwarves been knocking about, love? They haven't lost their dialect. Why would Morrigan be interested in that? There must be something else. Does that sound right to you, Ariane? We are not using Ariane to fact-check anything. This lady clearly doesn't know anything. Yeah, I think long-distance communication, who would Morrigan be contacting? Why would Morrigan be interested in that?
Ah, you have a friend with a special interest. Maybe she needs to talk to someone.
My people crossed paths with another Dalish clan not too long ago. Two of their young hunters encountered a strange mirror in some ruins. One disappeared, the other became deathly ill. They never found the one, and the other died. They left Ferelden and traveled north to forget their sorrows.
That is a reference to the Dalish origin, and if you are playing as Warden Mahariel, the story will be different. She will say, they never found one, and the other became a Grey Warden, at which point Warden Mahariel can jump in and say, that was me, I also killed the Archdemon. We obviously do not have that option. Carry on, what about the mirror? So these mirrors are dangerous. Well, they're magical. Anything magical can be dangerous. What about the mirror?
Shattered. Destroyed.
Why?
It was corrupted by the Darkspawn, beyond hope of recovery. They did it to protect others.
Even broken, it could be used to find the others. No, don't get ahead of yourself, Finn. You have to be sure.
What? What do you know?
This is so exciting. We have to get to the repository. Hadley has the key. Come on.
Okay, we have a neurotic mage joining us. fabulous. None of these specializations really suit Finn. I'm just gonna leave that alone. And oh, he has mass paralysis. Good man. I love that spell oh so much. These are all sustained. Ooh. You know what? Gonna grab... Oh, we can't grab that. Okay. In that case... there we go. That looks about right to me. And there goes my timer. Okay, in the next episode, we will go and have a chat with Hadley. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.